Tonight on EIV News at 6, coverage of the tragic terror attacks in Paris.
And later, coverage of a large anti-government protest in South Korea.
Hello and welcome to this edition of EIV News at 6. I'm Jacob Carroza.
And I'm Gina Brazeo. We begin with tonight's top stories. French forces combated heavy gunfire and a suicide bomber in a raid early Wednesday morning. The raid was part of France's continuing hunt for those involved in last week's terrorist attacks against their capital. 2 suspects were killed and another 7 were arrested during the operation. Today, police confirmed that one of those killed in the raid was Abdelhamid Aboud, the alleged mastermind of the attacks in Paris.
To recap, over 100 civilians were killed in Paris after a series of coordinated attacks last Friday. The nation of France has been left in mourning and the world is still in shock. A total of 6 locations throughout the city were targeted by gunmen and suicide bombers. Multiple individuals have been killed and arrested by French SWAT forces in the subsequent police retaliation.
2 Air France flights bound for Paris were diverted Tuesday night after bomb threats were made. One jet from Los Angeles International Airport landed in Salt Lake City, while another from Washington landed in Nova Scotia. Upon landing, both aircrafts were searched at length, with no explosives found on either. The flights were subjects of anonymous threats received by phone after air takeoff. The incidents come after heightened fears of terrorism after the deadly attacks in Paris.
A bomb scare at a soccer game to report on tonight. A soccer match between the Netherlands and Germany was canceled on Tuesday after bomb threats forced evacuation of the stadium. German authorities state that there was concrete intelligence that someone wanted to set off an explosion inside of the stadium. Chancellor Angela Merkel and other high officials were going to attend, but were quickly moved out as the threats gained credibility.
The largest South Korean protest in 7 years took place Saturday. Over 70,000 people gathered in opposition to new labor policies that would give businesses power for larger layoffs. They also protested a decision to require state-issued history textbooks in high schools by 2017. Police used tear gas and water cannons to try to disperse the crowds. A few protesters were injured and police say 51 were detained.
Barack Obama is speaking out about Chinese construction. On Wednesday, the president spoke about China's construction in the South China Sea, a territory that's ownership has been disputed. Obama urged China to cease the project along with their military activities there to lower tensions between China and its neighbors. On Tuesday, he announced a $250 million military contribution to several Asian nations to aid their efforts against China.
Tragic news out of Texas. A man has been accused of killing 6 people at a campsite this past weekend. William Hudson was charged with 1 count of murder after sheriff's deputies were dispatched Sunday morning following reports of a shooting approximately 100 miles southeast of Dallas. Investigators determined that after Hudson helped free a family's vehicle from some mud, he returned to the campsite hours later and killed 6 victims. More charges are pending for Hudson.
More than half of American state governors are denying entry to Syrian refugees now after the wake of the Paris attacks. This is in response to a report that one of the suspects in the attacks entered through Europe as a Syrian refugee. While the decision to allow Syrian refugees into the country lies with the federal government, states can make the acceptance process much more difficult. Pennsylvania, Vermont, Connecticut, and Colorado are among the 7 states who will accept refugees.
Another candidate has ended his run for the White House. Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal has become the 3rd Republican candidate to drop out of the 2016 presidential race. Jindal says that he realized it is just not his time to run. While Jindal said that he is not ready to endorse another candidate, he intends to support the eventual Republican nominee.
Now with the latest news from around the world, our international correspondent, Swetha Amarasan.
Thanks, guys. Deadly bombings in Lebanon caused major arrests. 9 people have been arrested for involvement in the 2 fatal blasts in Beirut, Lebanon. Interior Minister Nuhat Mashnook claims that 7 are Syrian and 2 are Lebanese. The 3 other attackers were killed in the bomb explosions. ISIS has claimed responsibility for those attacks, which killed over 40 people last Thursday. Deadly bombs struck African cities. 2 bomb attacks within 24 hours hit the cities of Yola and Kano in Nigeria. The blast killed dozens and wounded over 120. It's unclear if the first attack was a planted bomb or a suicide bomber. The second attack was the work of two suicide bombers who were females aged 11 and 18. And new information on the Metrojet flight crash. The Russian passenger jet that was brought down in the Sinai Peninsula crashed due to a bomb holding 2.2 pounds of explosives. The Russian government is now offering $50 million as a reward for any details on who was behind the attack. Russia has conducted several airstrikes on Raqqa, Syria, where ISIS headquarters allegedly are. That's all I have for international news. Back to you.
Thanks, Swetha.
When we come back, news on the overhaul of a struggling social networking site.
And later, an infamous celebrity confirms he's HIV positive.
Welcome back to EIV News at 6.
We go now to Ann Carroll with the biggest sports stories of the night.
Thanks, Jacob. In baseball, big-time players get big-time contracts, and Golden Glove winner Brandon Crawford is no exception. The San Francisco Giants shortstop signed a 6-year deal for a whopping $75 million, with the deal running through the 2021 season. The 28-year-old has batted .256 along with 21 home runs and 84 RBIs this season. In NFL news, Raiders linebacker Aldon Smith has been suspended for 1 year without any pay for violating the league's substance abuse policy. This is not the first time that he's had off-the-field troubles. In 2013, he served a 9-game suspension for violating the substance abuse policy and personal conduct, along with spending a month in a substance abuse treatment center. And the newest round of the college football playoffs are out. The top 4 teams remain unchanged from last week, but the real drama comes in at the number 6 and 7 spots. The Oklahoma Sooners and the Oklahoma State Cowboys have played each other each year since 1904 in the Bedlam Series. This year it will have extra significance with both teams being on the cusp of entering into the top 4. And that's all for sports this week. Back to Eugene and Jacob.
News from Google. Google Plus, the company's ill-fated challenger to Facebook, is going through major changes. According to a blog post by director Eddie Kessler, the new Google Plus will focus on communities and collections. This will attempt to make the social network more about hobbies and will try to differentiate it from Facebook. The new platform was released in beta form on Tuesday.
Black Friday news from Amazon. The website is looking to outdo itself this year by rolling out deals every 5 minutes. The site will begin offering these deals tomorrow and continue them through Black Friday. Amazon will also offer more than 150 limited lightning deals exclusively on their mobile app.
News from last week's election. Jackie Biskupski has become the first openly gay mayor of Salt Lake City. Biskupski takes over after progress on gay rights in the state was temporarily marred when a judge ordered a foster child to be removed from a lesbian couple and placed with a heterosexual couple. The decision was reversed after public backlash. Biskupski is hopeful that she will be able to push for equality in city and state.
Charlie Sheen announced that he is HIV positive. The controversial actor says that he has known of his diagnosis since 2011. Sheen says that he has spent over $10 million attempting to keep the diagnosis private and that it was his part of his decision to announce it publicly.
To admit that I am in fact HIV positive. And I have to put a stop to this onslaught, this barrage of attacks and of sub-truths.
Sheen says that he is on medication and remains in good health.
Porsche recently issued a statement claiming Paul Walker was responsible for the crash that led to his death. Porsche made the car Walker was driving when he crashed in November of 2013. Walker's daughter filed a lawsuit for wrongful death this past September, citing that the car was abused and altered with multiple design flaws. According to Porsche, the car had been used improperly, and any alterations were done by Walker himself. The case and investigation are still underway.
A small earthquake shook part of Massachusetts on Tuesday. Millis, a town about 20 miles from Boston, had a 1.5 magnitude earthquake on Tuesday night. The quake could be felt in neighboring cities such as Medway. Numerous reports were called into police about buildings shaking and explosive noises. Police confirmed that there were no injuries or damages. When we come back, a look at the week ahead with our 5-day weather forecast.
Welcome back to EIV News at 6.
We go now to our weather correspondent Rebecca Hankins with your 5-day weather forecast.
Thanks, Jacob and Gina. So today we experienced occasional showers with cloudy skies lingering all afternoon. Winds peaked at 20 miles per hour and there was a high of 54 degrees. Tonight there will be periods of rain that will accumulate to about a half an inch. Winds will stay between 15 and 25 miles per hour and the temperature will only drop 2 degrees to 52. Now let's take a look at what the weather has in store for us in our 5-day forecast. Friday, we will be seeing overcast skies and scattered showers throughout the day. The high will be 56 and the temperature will dip to a brisk 38 degrees at night. The rain will disappear in the evening, just in time for you to enjoy the start of your weekend. Saturday, there will be no showers, but there will be lots of clouds blocking the sun. So keep those sunglasses at home, you won't need them. It will be colder, however, with temps starting at 49 and dropping to 40 in the evening. Sunday, there will be a 40% chance of rain, but the sun will finally make its debut. It will be 33 degrees in the evening. Monday will be mainly sunny with winds coming out of the west and reaching 20 miles per hour. Monday night, the undefeated Patriots take on the Buffalo Bills at Gillette Stadium at 8:30. The temperature will be around 34, so if you're going to the game, make sure you bring a hat and gloves. Tuesday will be a little warmer with a high of 44 degrees and a low of 33. It will be sunny all day and clear skies into the evening. Perfect travel weather for those like me who are going home for the holiday. So that's all I have for weather this week. I'm Rebecca Hankins and I wish everyone to have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Rebecca.
That's all we have time for tonight. I'm Jacob Carrozza.
And I'm Gina Brazeo. Thanks for watching.